What's going on, everybody? What is going on? It is Thursday, November 20th, 2025, and we are back with another live here on the Torian Rain Reloaded channel. If you have not done so already, please be sure to go ahead and hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button if you are new. And if you are new to the channel, I'm glad that you're here. Hit the bell twice to be notified whenever I upload a new video or go live, or join the Discord, because if you don't get notified on here, you will for sure get notified over there. Shout out to everyone in the chat, especially my mods, my members, and also shout out to everybody over there on the Patreon. This probably isn't going to be that long of a stream because it's not that much to go over, but it is quite a bit to unpack. But it's still, we could probably knock this out in less than an hour, even including when I drop the link for people to come up and speak. But before we get into everything, let me go ahead and shout out those who are here so far in the chat, or those who came early, such as we got Cond Equation Art, Dimple Face, Raging Woody, Hurricane Nisi, Jonathan, Brother Man to You, William, Dark Titan, Wallow J, Black, Zayvon, AW1, Yosef, Reggie, Sybil. Miss Nisi still not used to the double. I'm still kind of getting used to it myself, and I'm noticing that in the chat. Well, y'all can't see it on your end, but if y'all are on the vertical side in the chat, it has the picture of a phone, like a smartphone, or a silhouette of a smartphone. So that lets me know y'all are watching it over there on the vertical side. And if it doesn't, that means y'all are watching it on the standard version. But either way, y'all are watching, then that's all that matters. Also, we have XA Guacha in the building, and we also have Priscilla in here as well. So we're not going to waste too much time. So by now, I think a lot of people have seen the video in which I'm going to show for y'all and that we're going to go over today. And it's this video where Megyn Kelly decided she was going to, in so many words, defend Epstein with some things that she said that had a lot of people give her more of a side eye than they already have. But before we actually get into it, put a 1 in the chat if you've seen the video. Put a 2 in the chat if this will be your first time watching it. Again, put a 1 in the chat if you have seen this video already, and put a 2 if you have not. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of 1s. I'm not surprised by that because, again, many of you have already seen it. I think I've only seen a couple of 2s in here. Well, for the 2s, y'all are about to get an earful in a couple of minutes. But yeah, Megyn Kelly, yeah, this does not, well, I wouldn't, this does, well, first off, she can't already be painted in a good light anyway with all the stuff that she said over the years, whether she was on Fox News or when she had her own show on network television, even to now that she has her own platform here on YouTube. But Megyn Kelly said something that had people really, really pissed with her, and rightfully so, because this is a very touchy subject. And as far as I know, she has not walked back what she said. She's a very unapologetic individual. So when she says something one time, she means it. But let me go ahead now and pull up the video. And by the way, I actually had to edit the video a little bit as far as when she says certain things, because you never know how YouTube can be. But y'all can read between the lines. And for those of y'all who've already seen the video, already know what she has said. So let me go ahead now and pull this up. Okay, let me lower the volume a little bit, and we'll go ahead and get started.
As for Epstein, I've said this before, but just as a reminder, I do know somebody very, very close to this case who is in a position to know virtually everything. Not everything, but virtually everything. And this person has told me.
I even question that part. I didn't mean to pause it so soon, but I even question if she actually does know anybody that's close to whatever she just said.
From the start, years and years ago, that Jeffrey Epstein, in this person's view, was not, this is this person's view, who was there for a lot of this, but that he was into the barely legal type. Like he liked 15-year-old girls.
Okay, so this was one of the main parts right here that had people like say, what the hell? Now, she said that she was in talks with someone who was close to Epstein and said that he was not a, you know, he didn't mess with kids like that, mess with minors like that, and that he was into the barely legal type 15-year-olds. And I'm sitting here saying to myself, in what world? Well, let's just keep it here. In what and at what point in American society, well, within the last, I would say, century or maybe less half century or whatever, has barely legal been considered 15? Because to my knowledge, if someone is considered to be barely legal, I'm thinking someone who just turned 18. You know, someone whose birthday might have been last week and they turned 18. That's someone who you would say is barely legal. Like they just crossed the threshold of being someone who's at what you call the age of consent. So she said barely legal types and said 15. Now, for some who are unaware, and as crazy as this sounds, there are some states where the legal age of consent is 16. It seems like the numbers just keep getting lower and lower every year. And even with that, that still rubs me the wrong way. But on the books in some states, the legal age of consent is 16. So even by that, she's still off because she said 15. That's the even more weird part about it all. She said, UP Chan said, what does she mean by a 15-year-old? This is what she's getting. This is what she's getting from her intel, according to her. But 15? Mind you, Megyn Kelly has a teenage daughter who's around the age, I believe, of what she just gave. So, Megyn, I know you're not watching this, but I'll figure I'll ask it anyway. Megyn, by your statement, that means that you would be okay with your daughter messing with a man around Epstein's age, because you said barely legal, which your daughter based on her math and her logic would be barely legal. And shout out to Jazz for the 5. They said, I was absolutely floored when I read that headline. It said MAGA is now defending predators. Yeah, they're beyond desperate. 5 or 15 is still a kid. Oh, trust and believe. And thank you for the super chat, because I paused it right at a point where she even puts her foot even more further down her long ass giraffe neck throat. Let me continue.
And I realize this is disgusting. I'm definitely not trying to make an excuse for this. I'm just giving you facts. That he wasn't into like 8-year-olds. But
like that, you just went from bad to worse. You said 15, and then he said it wasn't like he was into 8-year-olds. 15 is not the age of consent. That's not barely legal. People need to find out what's on Megyn Kelly's hard drive. What she got all up and floating through them terabytes. She is not making a good argument for herself. And what makes it even worse is that the woman that's next to her is not even checking her on it, which in my opinion means she's complicit in what Megyn Kelly is saying. I want y'all to all understand, these are white women saying this. When we say that the white woman is literally tethered to her man, whether or not they're intimate or anything like that, this is what we're talking about. Think about it. How do you think Trump won that first time? Who was the second highest voting bloc for him in the first run? It was white women, even though they came out and did all of that bullshit saying that they was with other women when it came to Hillary. They lied to them. And remember what Trump said, grab him by the you know what. So, like I said, I wonder what is on her hard drive.
he liked the very young teen types that could pass for even younger than they were, but would look legal.
I'm sorry. I could look at a 15-year-old person and tell that they're 15, or at least in that age bracket, just by how they appear, how they talk, what they do. It's just something, because we were all at an age when we were young, and a lot of us wanted to act like we were grown. But any adult could tell when we weren't grown in the sense of being of legal age, because it would always be something that would set it off. Something would happen. Like I said, what's on that hard drive?
To a passerby. And that is what I believed, and that was what I reliably was told for many years. And it wasn't until we heard from Pam Bondi that they had tens of thousands of videos of alleged, forgive me, they used to call it porn, now they call it, on his computer, that for the first time I thought, oh no, he was an actual, I mean, only a gets off on young children abuse videos. She's never clarified it. I don't know whether it's true. I have to be honest. I don't really trust Pam Bondi's word on the Epstein matters anymore. Yeah, so I don't know what's true about him, but we have yet to.
She doesn't know what's true about him. So again, that just sounds like she's defending everything that has been going on, mainly because of all the heat that's coming Trump's way, because his name is allegedly in those files. Because what I'm going to show y'all after this video is done is a complete contrast to what she's saying right here.
See anybody come forward and say, I was I was under 10, I was under 14 when I first came within his purview. Look, you can say that's a distinction without a difference.
No, it's not.
I think there is a difference. Yeah. There's a difference between a 15-year-old and a 5-year-old, you know.
And now she changed the age again. She said 15-year-old, which stayed the same. But remember earlier she said 8-year-old. Now she's saying 5-year-old. So she's going even younger. Now you starting to tiptoe into toddler territory. What in the hell is going on here?
No, it's just,
and that's pretty much the end of that video. But let me share my screen right quick and show y'all what Megyn said a couple years ago. Let me zoom in a little bit so y'all can read it. So y'all can see there's a huge difference between what she said in that video versus what she said then. Megyn Kelly's recent comments regarding Jeffrey Epstein have drawn significant criticism, in what she appeared to suggest a distinction between different ages of minors in the legal age of consent. This stands in contrast to a 2018 interview where she emphasized that the legal age of consent in California is 18, and therefore a 14 or 17-year-old cannot legally consent. So again, that's what she said in 2018, but in 2025, she said 15 is barely legal. She says on a November 2025 episode on her podcast, Kelly suggested that Epstein was interested in the, quote, barely legal type and liked 15-year-old girls, and further claimed there's a difference between a 15-year-old and a 5-year-old. These comments were widely perceived as minimizing the severity of Epstein's abuse to minors. Amazing what a little bit of time can do, and probably some money, because who knows, she could have been paid on the back end for what she said. And shout out to Church for the super chat. For being a member for 16 months. He says, shalom and salute family. On the road today, but I'm listening in the background. It says, P.S. only PDFs care about what kind of PDFs they are. Right. Consistently moving the goalpost. So now they up there trying to redefine what this is. Listen, if they mess with a minor, then we already know what their proper label is. But then again, this is the same woman who a few years ago said that Santa Claus is white, he can't be black. And when someone asked her, why can't Santa Claus be black? She said, because he's not, because he's white. Basically, that was her version of I'm white and I say so. Any person that says something like that about a fictional being as a grown woman already to me is unhinged. Shout out to AW1 that says she's nasty. Yeah, she's very nasty. She's very diabolical too. Exactly, Raging Woody. He said, so by her logic, her soon-to-be 15-year-old is barely legal. Exactly. That's why I said, did she not think that through? Because someone said in the chat that she's 14. Her daughter is. Now, one last thing that I wanted to show before I drop the link, like I said, it wasn't going to take me long to get through this, is I wanted to share this post by Benny Johnson, another person who I cannot stand, who is praising Megyn Kelly for what she said. So he made this post on November 14th. Mind you, the video y'all watched was posted the day before on the 13th. Benny said, Megyn Kelly is a fearless warrior for truth. And I don't know what it is about a lot of these white supremacists like Benny Johnson who love to call people fearless warriors for truth and patriots and all types of stuff like that. I guess they say all types of stuff like that to make themselves feel like they're more important than they actually are. And I actually have a video coming soon about Benny Johnson. I think it's going to be next week. It is absolutely just, oh my God, that dude irks the hell out of me sometimes. A lot of times, actually. He said, what happened to her today is vile. No, what she said out of her mouth is vile. And then he says, I stand with Megyn Kelly. That man would stand with a mannequin if it looked at him the right way. Exactly, fearless warrior of truth. This woman has done nothing but lie and spread a lot of anti-black propaganda since we first learned about her. And the crazy part about it is this woman has a law degree. She has a she's a lawyer. This woman's job is to help people either clear their name or to, fight their case. I don't know what type of attorney she was. I don't know if she was a defense attorney or what, but she has a law degree. I thought that was weird that this woman had a whole law degree and she ended up on Fox News of all places. I thought that was very strange to me. But yeah, I can't stand the likes of a Benny Johnson. But like I said, I have a video coming about Benny, I think next week. And it's just as cringe as you would imagine. So I'm not surprised that Benny said this, but Benny Johnson is another social climber. He's another one of those social climbers. As a matter of fact, I'll even go off as far as to say this. A lot of these individuals like him who have that blue check on Twitter, who are attached to MAGA or what's left of it, are all social climbers. They're all out for self. I said this in a live that I did last week. They are not for each other. They are all for themselves. They play this game like they are a unit, but they couldn't be more divided than the lines that make up these states. And they put on a good game, but the thing is, they show their hand every time. That's why I can't wait for MAGA to fall completely. It's already crumbling now, because now apparently the new grift is America First. I said, okay, so you just rename MAGA to America First, but y'all gonna do the same shit. Y'all just went and switched out a red hat for a blue hat. And I thought that was interesting too, because, red is supposed to be the right-leaning color, Republican, conservative, but now y'all want to say America First, which is considered the liberal color, Democrat, left-leaning. I cannot with these grifters and their lopsided logic. But anyway, y'all, that's pretty much it. Like I said, it wasn't much to go off of with this particular one, but let me go ahead now and drop the link so y'all can come up and speak to this foolishness, because I know y'all have some things to say. In the case, of course, if y'all have not done so already, please be sure to go ahead and hit the like button. I would greatly appreciate it. Let me get my timer together so we can get this thing started. And of course, you already know who the first one is. Wallow, what's going on?
What's going on, Torrin? What's going on, everybody in the chat? Like the great Bernie Mac said, you nasty bitch. That's all I really got to say. Be one.
All right. Shout out to Wallow for coming up. All right, next up we got AW1. What's going on?
Yeah, what's going on, Torian in chat? Yeah, how you doing, Torian? After hearing that garbage?
I'm doing good. Trust me, I've heard worse since then. Wait till you see the live I have coming on Tuesday.
Yeah. Are we surprised by this yak, though?
No.
Of course not. You know, because white lives don't matter. White lives don't matter, and you know, we're criminals, black on black crime, you know, stuff, same old crap. But she's a fearless warrior for the truth. I guess when it means going at black people, less than 12% of the population, it shows how weak she is. She's always going to be a forever victim. That's all it is. But I will say this: imagine Michael Jackson would have said this. I'll be looking at him funny, but he never said anything like this. He would reject garbage like this, and people like her would be getting on Mike for that. That's the funny thing, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hypocrisy's real though, Torian. But I'll tell you what, man, I'm gonna go now, get to my new job, stay woke.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, shout out to AW1 for coming up. All right, Jonathan, what's going on?
What's up, man? You can hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, I don't have on the Bluetooth this time. But yeah, Megyn is a retard, a hypocrite. She the last person to someone to shut up when she needs someone to shut up after what she said about after what she just said on that video. Like, how can you defend a man who's been accused of messing around with underage girls? You know, Megyn has been on my radar since that comment, and she ain't done nothing but shown all her anti-black rhetoric and her pedophilia defending. So it doesn't surprise me. They all alike. And, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully, you know, she ends up getting, getting terminated from her shows just based off that, what she said in that video. Because you should never defend someone that did some sick shit like that. And excuse my language, but I just had to let it out. But yeah, that's all I had to say about it. I'm gonna go ahead and let my plane there.
All right. Thanks for coming up. All right, shout out to Jonathan for coming up. If anybody else would like to come up, the link is right there in the chat. I'll post it again, just in case anybody else would like to come up. And I didn't know the thing double posted in the chat either. I guess they said, hey, I guess they figure if you on your phone, then you want to come up, then you can click it over there too. But yeah, Megyn Kelly, I've never liked that chick. I've never liked her. Ever since I first learned about her, she stayed on the radar, and not for a good reason. Ms. Needs said, no need for me to call in today. Wallow already said it. Cool. Even better. Now, somebody had wrote something in the chat earlier, but I didn't catch it. And they had said that it was a story that was out there about somebody. Did I hear about it? But like I said, I get sent some of these stuff all the time. Let me put something into perspective for y'all, a little off topic. I have enough commentaries to last me the next 2 weeks. I've actually recorded deep dives. I don't know if y'all noticed it by now, but I try to do at least one deep dive a week, and I always try to have it fall on Wednesday. I don't know if y'all picked up on that or not, but I have deep dive comments that have topics that'll last me through January, at least through the first week of January. I actually recorded one today for a deep dive topic that's not coming out until like 2, maybe 3 weeks from now. And like I tell you, I don't know where, like, it's like I just see the things, I hear things people say in videos, and it makes a light bulb goes off in my head, and it just makes me want to go a little bit more further into this particular topic. And I'm sitting there saying to myself, y'all not ready. I said, if y'all thought some of the deep dives that I did recently were something, wait till y'all see the ones that I have coming up that y'all have yet to see. And by the way, the deep dive that I did yesterday, Was it yes? It was yesterday. Man, I had the usual suspects so butthurt about that one. They were so mad. I had to block a couple of them yesterday. I think I had them butthurt about that reparations one I did last week. Of course, that one was going to trigger them. Miss Nisa said I blocked that account. Yeah, I blocked that account too. I didn't even ask y'all to block him. I just did it myself. Now, the thing with Megyn is that she's not on a network. Megyn Kelly is not on a network. She's on here, but she has this is her own thing. So technically she can't get fired per se. It's not like she was Candace working over at the Daily Wire where she was working under somebody and they were able to, and Ben Shapiro was able to let her go. Megyn Kelly, that's her own platform. So she can't technically get fired, unfortunately. The only thing that can happen is if people just start watching her stuff or if her stuff gets removed. That's pretty much it. Haxon said, I know I was live today. Yeah, it was live today. I had the live window up since last night. I would have had done it yesterday, but I wasn't available yesterday to do it. He said John Oliver had a field day talking about Kelly's interview on his last week Tonight Show this past. Yeah. And she said, and like I said, she didn't mince her words. She meant that. She meant what she said. He said, I bet you that Megyn Ku Klux Kelly is a crater face without makeup. It's funny you say that because I don't think I've ever seen her without makeup. Because every time I see her, she's always on screen. I've never seen her like out, like when I say out and about, but just in a normal setting, where she doesn't have to be made up. But yeah, she does look like she's working. And not only that, I don't know if y'all noticed this, but have y'all noticed that even with her videos, like on her channel, not only does it look like she has a lot of makeup on, but it also looks like they use some kind of a filter as well. So it's like she has double makeup on. Because, the filter is nothing but making you look like you have makeup on without having makeup on. Reparation, they said, you never will. She wears that when she's out and about, too. I bet she's the type of person to probably wear makeup to raging waters. At a place where it's not needed. I bet you if she goes to the gym or works out, she probably has a face full of makeup on. But anyway, y'all, it doesn't look like anybody else is coming up. But like I told y'all, this was going to be a rather short live. It wasn't much to really go over. The next live that I do will be on Saturday. That'll be the weekly recap. We got some topics that we're going to discuss. I think it's some more stuff I'm going to have to add to the list. I think so far I have like 6 topics, but I think I might have to add like at least 3 more. So we have Sound Off. I'm not Sound Off. That's next Saturday. We got the weekly recap coming this Saturday at 12 p.m. Also, tomorrow's video I'm giving y'all a heads up now. 1, tomorrow's video is a reaction style video. And 2, the video is nearly an hour long. As a matter of fact, the video comes in at about a little over 50 minutes. So hopefully from the 12 o'clock hour, y'all are ready because it is a doozy. It's going to be on someone that I've had on my channel before, but the person I'm reacting to is reacting to their video who I've never spoken about. Like that. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to put the premiere window for that up in a few hours. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Before we get up out of here, shout out to Jazz Church for being a member and for the super chat, Church again, and also AW1 for the contribution, and also shout out to Wallow, AW1, and Jonathan for coming up and speaking towards the topic at hand. We are about to get up out of here. Shout out to everyone that came through. Shout out to all the members, all the mods, everybody over there on Patreon. The 12 o'clock video will be coming tomorrow. The next live will be on Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern time. So, and that's pretty much it. Y'all enjoy the rest of your evening. Stay safe, stay warm, but most importantly, be one.